time we got to hold her.
Yeah, I remember that stuff already.
And then got you guys.
There we go.
It's a normal day. I was working 82nd Patrol District. We were getting ready to go do a suspect contact. Deputies at Karki decided to do a traffic stop on a vehicle.
I pulled over a car full of a bunch of teenagers that didn't have seatbelts on. For their safety, I just wanted to talk to them about that. And I pulled them over right in front of the mall.
We want a CR at JCPenney. This is a 7-day-old child in cardiac arrest.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
I'm
gonna go too.
I knew we were all less than a minute away. When I heard it was an infant, that definitely triggered my approach time as well. I wanted to make sure I got there as fast as possible.
Where the call came in, we have 2 stations that can get to that location pretty quick. So we were dispatched initially, and then Heavy Rescue 5 came in, and while they were responding, I saw them, I looked out my window, and I saw them coming down Monterey. So I knew 4 people were coming right behind me.
3736 arrest.
Made it to JCPenney's in about 40 seconds, I think. When I was running up to it, I didn't think that this was going to be real, because we've had calls before where, you know, it's like a baby not breathing, and usually it's just a parent that's really panicked, and I understand that because I have 3 kids. But this time, it made my blood run cold. I almost couldn't deal with it for a split second.
I think training just kind of kicked in, and without even thinking about it, all the 3 of us started to take different roles in the CPR. So deputies at Karki started giving chest compressions right away.
Nothing can really prepare you for doing it in real life. I've done CPR on adults many times, but it's totally different when it's a baby.
What only was probably a few minutes seemed like an eternity, just waiting for people who are more medically equipped.
Respond to a lot of emergencies, but we don't respond to a lot of 7-day-old infants. So I think our stress level is a little bit higher. After we arrived, it was a transition to kind of work together and then transition to get some of the deputies out to help facilitate more of the on-scene activities. Because the parents were still there, and working together with them and keeping them informed on what we were gonna do next is also key.
The hardest part of all this is, seeing the parents who go from one of the happiest moments of their life, taking their first infant pictures with their baby, to the most traumatic and terrifying moments of their lives. Hearing the screams, the cries, the dad asking, why did this happen? That stuff is hard to hear and it's hard to deal with.
I couldn't imagine being in their shoes, seeing my infant not breathing. And you just kind of let them grieve, and you just tell them, hey, I'm here if you need me. We're gonna be with you throughout the entirety of this.
I think we just took turns being the strong one, and I would support him, and then he would be strong and I would cry, and we'd just take turns while she's getting CPR.
Initially, some of the interventions that we were treating, she wasn't responding to, so it took a longer series of interventions. But then once we started to see some improvement, then we mobilized and went to the hospital as fast as we could.
I remember hearing them say that they had her pulse back. And that was the moment where I was like, okay, she's alive still.
And we followed the ambulance up to the hospital. We wanted to know ourselves. and see what the outcome was and the results.
I just thought that from what I saw, how blue she was, that maybe she was beyond saving.
And that was kind of my fear in the back of my mind, like if we didn't know how long she'd been without air. There were just a lot of questions, a lot of unknowns at the hospital.
And then we just waited to hear.
I really thought that it was the worst, and instead, Caleb came and like shook my hand and had a big smile on his face, and I was confused. I was like, why is he so happy? And he started telling me what all the doctors were telling him, and it wasn't like she's fine, but like she's gonna be fine. And it was just, I was so overcome. We were just all like crying together in the hospital room.
It was just incredible. It was like it took all my doubts away. And when we held her and we saw her looking at us and actually, taking it all in and looking around, it was like she was just a little baby.
So she grabbed onto my hand, and it was just adorable. Needless to say, I was overtaken with emotion then.
Yeah, we set off that day to get a picture of her during, a newborn picture, and we ended up with, a picture of her and her saviors.
I just took on this job because it sounded like a really rewarding job, but you could never really predict what it's going to be, and this was absolutely unexpected.
To be able to fill in the gap and help parents get their daughter back, it was incredible. It's one of the highlights of my career that I think I'll hold on to forever.
It's going to be amazing to see her grow up and know that we had a part in that. And it's good to see that our work here is helping the community.
They're braver than we were, and like how they could keep their cool and help her. Like, without that, she wouldn't be here. I mean, I want to support them, and I'm glad that we and Audrey can be good and show them why they're doing this.
I'm just looking forward to having kind of a little goddaughter the rest of my life. I just want to keep going to her birthdays and kind of celebrate her life, and I look forward to seeing what she's going to become someday, and when she can connect the dots and know who we are and what we did when she was born, I think that'll be a really cool relationship to build over the years to come.